Do you know many English words in your head, but they don't come out when you talk? You understand English well when you read. You hear every word when you listen. But when it's your turn to speak, it feels hard. You stop for a moment. You feel a little worried. You feel stuck, even though you know the words. It's like having a big box of toys, but you can't open the lid to play. You're smart. You have learned many English words. Maybe you have studied English rules for a long time. So, why is speaking difficult? This is normal. Many people learn English by reading and listening. This is like watching a game. You know the rules and what is happening. But speaking is different. Speaking is like playing the game yourself. It needs different skills and practice. It needs you to believe in yourself. Your brain must do many things fast. Find the right word, make a sentence, say it clearly, and say it at the right speed. It's a lot. This does not mean you are bad at English. It just means you need to practice speaking. In this book, Speak English Better, Easy Tips for Practice, we will help you. We will explain why this happens and the things that stop you from speaking well. I am the English speaking coach. I love helping people speak English better. This book, Speak English Better, Easy Tips for Practice, has one main goal: to help you speak the English you know. We want to help you speak English with confidence. We will not use hard ideas or long lessons. We will use simple and easy ways that you can start using now. You will find small, daily steps that fit your life. These steps will make your speaking stronger, help you feel more confident, and make English feel easy. Think about speaking English easily, sharing your thoughts clearly, and feeling happy about how much you improve. That is what this book is for. 1. Speaking English every day. You know English. You understand it when you hear it. You can likely read it well. But when it is your turn to talk, that feels different, right? It seems like there is a big space between what you know and what you can say. On one side, you have all the English words and rules in your head, like a huge, wonderful library. On the other side, there is you, trying to get those words out. Maybe you feel stuck, or you only say a few shy sounds. This space between knowing English and speaking English happens a lot. It is why many people who have studied English for years still feel shy or cannot have a real talk. Think about other things you do every day. You probably clean your teeth. You might look at your phone first thing in the morning. You get a hot drink. These actions are so normal, so easy, you do not need to think. They are part of your day. What if practicing your English speaking could be just as simple, just as easy? What if it did not feel like a big, hard job? This is where the wonder of speaking English every day helps. It is not about finding many hours to study. It is about finding small times. Little bits of time, spread through your day, where you choose to use your voice in English. It is like giving water to a small plant. At first, you might not see much change. It is just a little sprout. But if you keep giving it water, day after day, that plant grows. It becomes strong, it does well. Your speaking ability is the same. Each day you speak, even if it is just one sentence, you are adding a block to a path. This path joins what you know, that great library in your head, to your actual voice, your skill. To share ideas. When you first start, the space feels huge. The path is short, maybe just a few shaky boards. But with every single day you practice speaking, you add another block. You lay another board. Slowly, surely, that path gets longer, stronger, and much easier to walk on. Soon, you will find yourself walking on it without even thinking. This is the main idea for getting better at speaking English. It is not about a secret trick or a quick fix. It is about doing it often every day. It is about making speaking English a habit, a small, easy part of your life. This habit builds belief in yourself. It builds smooth talking. It changes that shy feeling into a feeling of being able to do it. Let us look closely at why this daily practice is so strong. When you learn English words and rules, you are collecting tools. You have hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, a whole box of tools for words. But if you never take those tools out and use them, they just sit there, getting dusty. You know how to use them in your mind, but you do not have the real skill, the body memory, of building something. Speaking is the act of building. It is taking those tools and using them. When you speak English every day, you are not just remembering words, you are making them work. You are telling your brain, hey, this word is important. This helps to move those words from the words you understand to the words you can actually use. It is like moving things from the storage part of your brain to the ready-to-use part. Think about someone named Maria. Maria has lived in a place where people speak English for a year. She understands almost everything. She can read hard stories and follow talks. But when asked to tell about herself, she struggles. Her sentences are short and broken. She feels shy. She has a great book of words in her head, but her speaking muscles are weak because they are not used often. She has been living on the knowledge island. Now, imagine Maria decides to build her path. She does not try to give a big speech. Her goal is simple. Say one English sentence out loud, every day, about something real. On Monday, she looks at her food and says, "This is a tasty omelet." On Tuesday, she sees a bird outside and says, "The bird is flying very fast." On Wednesday, she is walking and says, "The sun is shining today." It feels a little funny at first, talking to herself. But she keeps doing it. What happens? After a week, she has said 7 sentences. Her brain has gotten a little better at finding those words and making those simple sentences. After a month, she has said over 30 simple sentences. The speaking muscles are starting to get stronger. She is not just thinking about omelets or birds, she is thinking about how to say omelet and bird in English. The space between what she knows and what she can say is getting smaller, block by block. This is not about being perfect. It is about doing it. You will make mistakes. You will use the wrong word. You might even forget a word in the middle of a sentence. That is okay. In fact, that is good. Mistakes show you where you need more help. When you speak every day, you see these signs more often, and you learn how to get past them. Let us think about the total amount of time. If you decide to speak for just 5 minutes every day, that is 35 minutes each week. In a year, that is more than 30 hours of speaking practice. That is more practice than many people get in a whole school term of language classes. And it is active practice, where you are the one making the language, not just hearing it. This constant output helps your mouth, your tongue, and your brain work together smoothly. The great thing about this way is that it can change to fit you. You do not need a special room or a teacher to speak English every day. You can do it anywhere, anytime. You can talk to yourself. You can talk to your pet. You can talk to an imaginary friend. You can talk to a thing. The main thing is the act of speaking. It is about making that effort to form English sounds and sentences. This daily habit also helps you stop being afraid to speak. When you speak a little bit every day, it is not a big deal if you make a mistake. It is just a small step. But if you only try to speak English in important times, like for a job or with someone who speaks it well, the pressure is very high. That pressure can stop you, making it even harder to speak. By practicing in easy, everyday moments, you build your belief in yourself slowly. You show yourself that you can speak, and that mistakes are not the end. So, how do you start building this path? It starts with a choice. A choice to spend just a few minutes each day speaking English. It does not matter if you feel ready or not. It does not matter if you think you are good enough. The only thing that matters is doing it. You have the knowledge. Now it is time to build the path to your voice. Each small, regular step you take is a block placed. And with every block, that space between knowing and speaking gets smaller until one day, you will find yourself on the other side, speaking English more easily and with more belief than you ever thought possible. This is the power of making English speaking a daily habit. It is simple, it can be done, and it is the best way to truly get better. 2. Simple ways to improve speaking. You know English words. You know the rules for putting them together. But when you try to talk, it feels like your tongue is stuck. Your mind goes empty. The words just don't come out. Does this feel like you? Many people feel this way. They know English, but speaking feels like a very tall mountain they can't climb. This is why we are here. We want to help you climb that mountain, step by easy step. We don't want you to just learn more English. We want to help you use what you already know to speak with confidence. We want to make your English work for you. So, how do we do this? How do we get from understanding to speaking? It starts with simple things you do every day. Small habits that lead to big changes. Let's look at the first, most important step. It seems very easy, but it is the base for everything else. You need to hear yourself speak English. You might think, but I am by myself. Who am I talking to? That's the best part. You are talking to yourself. You are teaching your mouth muscles. You are teaching your brain to link the sounds you hear in your head with the sounds you make with your voice. Start with something easy. Pick up a book, a magazine, or read words on your phone. Choose a simple sentence and say it out loud. Don't just read it in your head. Speak it. Feel the words in your mouth. See how your tongue moves, how your lips make shapes. Then, try something more. Look around you. Say what you see. Use very simple sentences. The sky is blue. I have a cup. The door is closed. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is just to say the words. To make English something you do with your body, not just in your mind. This is the first step to changing your knowledge into smooth speaking. Next, let's talk about how English sounds. English has a kind of music. People who speak English as their first language don't just say words, they have a natural rhythm, a speed, and a tone. If you can copy this, your English will sound more natural, and you will understand it better too. This is called shadowing. Shadowing is like being a copycat with your voice. You listen to how someone speaks, how fast they talk, how their voice goes up and down, where they stop. Then you try to copy them exactly. You become their echo. Don't worry if you don't know every word at first. That's not the main goal. The goal is to get the sound right. The rhythm. Think of learning to sing a song. You first learn the tune, the beat. You don't need to know the deep meaning of every word right away. You focus on the sound. Find short clips. A few seconds from a podcast, a video, or a movie. And then, try to say it. Try to match their speed. Try to match the tune of their voice. This practice helps your ears hear the small details of spoken English, and it helps your mouth make those sounds naturally. It is very good for making your speaking clearer and smoother. Now, here's a tool that might feel a little strange at first, but it is one of the best. Ways to see how you are doing and find what to improve: recording yourself. Yes, it's true. Hearing your own voice can be a bit odd. We are used to how we sound in our heads. But when you record yourself speaking English, you get a true, clear look at how you really sound to others. What should you record? Start simple. Record yourself reading a few sentences out loud. Or try to say a few sentences about your day. Then, listen to it. Listen closely. Are you speaking too fast? Are there certain sounds you find hard? Do you stop a lot? This is not for judging yourself. It is for getting information. It is like a doctor taking your temperature. They need to measure it to know what is happening. Recording yourself is measuring your speaking. This information is very helpful. It shows you exactly where to put your effort. You might find that one vowel sound is hard for you, or that you don't say the end of words. Once you know what the problem is, you can start to fix it. It is a direct way to get better. Besides these special ways, the main idea is this: use English as much as you can, in any way you can. It's like the saying, use it or lose it, but for speaking. Every little chance to talk is a chance to practice. Think about your day. Can you say hello in English when you see someone? Can you say thank you when someone helps you? Can you ask, how are you? In English? These might seem like small, unimportant things, but they add up. Every time you choose to use an English phrase, you make that path stronger in your brain. You build confidence. You make English a part of your day, not just something you study. Try to set a small, easy goal for yourself each day. Maybe it's to use one new English phrase you learned. Or maybe it's to say just one sentence about your day in English. It could be as simple as saying, have a nice day in English to someone you work with. These small wins are very encouraging. They show you that you can speak English and that you are getting better. The main thing to remember is that getting better at speaking English is not about magic or changing overnight. It's about simple, regular practice. It's about making English a habit. Building the path from knowing English to speaking English. You are not just learning words, you are learning to use them. You are training your voice, your ears, and your brain to work together smoothly. And remember, everyone who speaks English well started right where you are. They took these simple steps. They practiced. And they kept going. So, we have looked at some basic ways to get your speaking muscles working. We have seen how to make English something you do every day. But what exactly should you be practicing saying? What kinds of English are most helpful when you are just starting? In the next part, we will look at the specific types of English you can focus on to build your confidence quickly. We will explore useful things to practice that will make your practice sessions even better. 3. Overcome speaking challenges. You know the words. You know how to put them together. You can read and listen well. But when it's your turn to talk, sometimes your mind just stops. A question comes, and instead of an answer, there's nothing. Or maybe just a mix of words that don't make much sense. Does this sound like you? It feels like there's a big space between what you know in your head and what you can say out loud. You are not the only one. Many people learning English feel this way. It doesn't mean you're not smart or that you'll never speak English well. It just means there are a few small things stopping you from speaking. The good news is these are not hard walls. They are like small bumps on the road, and we can learn to go over them with simple, regular practice. Think about it. You might know the perfect English word for something. You've heard it, you've read it, you know what it means. But when you need it right away, in a real talk, it just goes away. Or worse, it comes out wrong, or you can't make the sentence right. This happens because knowing a word and being able to use it well in a conversation are two different things. It's like knowing how to swim by watching videos versus actually getting in the water. You know what to do, but you need to practice the actions, the quick moves. That's what you need to build. So, what are these common things that stop us from speaking? Let's look at some of the main ones. One of the most common is the fear of making mistakes. This is a big one. We worry about saying the wrong word, using wrong grammar, or sounding funny. This fear can make us so worried that we just stop talking. Your mind, trying to keep you safe from feeling embarrassed, just stops the speaking part. It's like being afraid to try a new game because you might fall. You'll never learn if you don't play, right? But the fear of falling can stop you from even starting. Another big thing is thinking too much in your first language. You hear a question in English, and your mind quickly changes it to your own language. Then you try to change the answer back into English. This takes time. It makes you slow. And by the time you find the English words, the moment is gone, or the talk has moved on. It's like trying to find your way in a busy city with a map that keeps changing from another language. It's confusing and slow. And then there's the simple, but very important, block of not practicing enough. We know English, but we don't use it enough when we talk. Our speaking muscles, like any other muscles, get stronger with regular use. If you only go to the gym once a month, you won't get much better. It's the same for your speaking. Without daily or very regular practice, speaking well doesn't happen by itself. It's like trying to play music without ever touching the instrument. You know the notes, but you can't play the song. These things are real, and they can be hard. You might think, I understand everything, why can't I just speak it? This is normal. It means you know what you want, and you're ready to work for it. The main point here is that these are not your fault. They are common problems when learning a language, and you can overcome them. The exciting part is that the answer is not some secret, hard trick. It's about simple, useful steps you can do every day. It's about changing what you know into being able to speak. This series will give you those steps. We will look at these problems and show you how to get the confidence and skills to speak English easily. And well, remember what it means to get better at speaking English? It's not just knowing words and grammar, it's about using them easily and with confidence in real talks. It's about practicing often and finding ways to use English every day. That's what we will focus on. We will help you get over the fear, the pausing, and the feeling of being stuck. So, you are not alone. These speaking problems are normal. And the good news? There are very simple, useful ways to help you break through these problems and start speaking with more confidence. We will look at how to deal with that fear, how to stop your thoughts from getting stuck in your first language, and how to build that important speaking practice. Ready to find out how? Let's start with the first easy tip that will help you speak better, starting now. 4. Daily practice tips. It's a common problem. You have spent many years learning English. You can read books, understand movies, and even write emails. But when it is time to actually speak, it feels like the words just go away. They get stuck. Why does this happen? It is often because knowing English words and using them to speak are two different skills. One is about keeping information in your head. The other is about making things happen. It is like knowing all the things you need for a yummy meal, but never cooking it. The good news? You can totally learn to speak with confidence. It just takes a little bit of practice, done often and done smartly. Let's look at some very simple, everyday habits you can build. These are not big jobs. They are small steps, but they all add up. Think of them as tiny seeds you plant each day that grow into a strong speaking tree. Daily practice tips. First, try a method called shadowing. Have you heard of it? It is great for making your mouth and brain work together well. Imagine you are a singer practicing a new song. You listen to the real song, and then you try to sing it exactly like the singer. Shadowing is the speaking way to do that. Here is how it works. You find a short sound clip. It could be from a podcast, an audiobook, a TV show, or even a short piece from a movie. The important thing is that someone is speaking it naturally at a normal speed. You listen to one sentence, or even just a short group of words, and then you try to say it. Right away. Your goal is to copy everything, the sounds, the rhythm, the way some words are said louder, and how the speaker's voice goes up and down. Let's try a quick example. Imagine you hear this. It's a beautiful day for a walk in the park. Now you listen to it. You hear the "it's a" sound. The word beautiful has a nice rhythm. The words walk in the park flow together. Then you try to say it right after you hear it, or even as you hear it. It's a beautiful day for a walk in the park. It feels a little strange at first, right? You might feel like you're just copying. And you are. That is the point. You are teaching your ears to hear the small differences in spoken English, and you are teaching your mouth to make those sounds and rhythms. Do not worry about understanding every single word perfectly when you start. Focus on the sound. Focus on the music of the English language. What kind of clips should you use? Start with short ones. Maybe 15 to 30 seconds. Find something you like listening to. If you like cooking shows, use a short part of a chef talking. If you enjoy a certain TV series, pick one line of talking. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel. You will start to notice things like how people who speak English as their first language connect words, how they pause, and where they put the most importance. This is very important for sounding more natural and being understood easily. It is not just about knowing the words, it is about how you say them. Next up, speak your day. This is about making English a constant friend, even when you are alone. Think about your normal day. You wake up. You make coffee. You get dressed. You travel to work or school. You cook dinner. You relax. All these times are chances to practice speaking. Just talk about what you are doing in English, even if it is just to yourself. It sounds simple, but it works very well. For example, when you are making your morning coffee, you can think or say out loud, "Okay, I am going to make some coffee now. First, I need to get the coffee grounds. Then I will put them in the filter." Or, if you are walking to the bus stop, "It's a bit cold this morning. I hope the bus is not late. I see a dog over there. It's a small, fluffy dog." You might feel a little silly at first. That is completely normal. But nobody has to hear you. This is your private practice time. The goal here is to start thinking in English and to connect what you are doing with English words. It helps you get used to using English actively instead of just hearing it. It also helps you find words you do not know. You might be making breakfast and realize you do not know the English word for a certain tool or food item. That is a useful thing to find out. You can look it up later. But the important thing is, you have practiced speaking in a real situation. You are not just reading from a book. You are using English to describe your actual life. This Speak Your Day habit turns normal moments into good learning chances. Imagine you are doing laundry. You can say, I need to sort the clothes. These are dark colors and these are whites. I should check the pockets first. Then I will put them in the washing machine. It is about using English to connect with the world around you. It makes the language feel more real and important to you. Our third tip is the word association chain. This is all about building links between words and ideas in your mind, which is key for speaking smoothly. When you are speaking, you do not want to look for each word one by one. You want your thoughts to flow. This exercise helps train your brain to do just that. Here is how it works. You start with one simple word. Let's pick the word book. From book, what other words come to your mind? You might think of story, read, library, author, page, cover, chapter, novel, information, knowledge. Now, try to make a short sentence using a few of these connected words. For example, I love to read a good story in a book before I go to sleep. Or, the author wrote a new novel with many interesting chapters. You can do this with any word. Let's try another one, tree. What comes to mind? Green, leaves, branches, wood, forest, shade, nature, tall. Now let's make a sentence. The tall tree in the forest has green leaves and provides lots of shade. This exercise is great because it goes beyond just knowing single words. It helps you see how words are connected. It is like building a web of meaning in your brain. When you are speaking and you think of one word, related words and phrases will more easily come to mind. This makes you hesitate less and makes your sentences better and more descriptive. You can make this a quick mental game while you are waiting in a line, traveling, or even during a short break. Just pick a word and see how many related words you can think of quickly. Then, try to put a few together into a sentence. It is a simple but strong way to get better at remembering words and putting your thoughts together clearly in English. It helps you go from just knowing words to using them in a situation, which is exactly what we want for better English speaking. Finally, and this is a big one, record and review. This might feel a little scary at first, but believe me, it is one of the most helpful tools you have for real improvement. You are your own best teacher, but you need to hear what your teacher is saying. Most phones have a voice recorder app. It is very easy to use. You can record yourself practicing any of the tips we have talked about. Read a part of a book, practice your Speak Your Day talking, or try a few sentences using your word association chains. Then, the important part, listen back. At first, you might feel a little uncomfortable. Is that really how I sound? Yes, it is. And that is okay. The goal is not to be perfect, it is to get better. When you listen back, try to be kind to yourself. Notice what you did well. Did you say a difficult word correctly? Did your sentences flow smoothly? Be happy about those small good things. Then, gently find one or two things you would like to make better. Maybe you notice you say, or a lot. Or maybe a certain vowel sound is hard for you. Or perhaps you want to try speaking a little faster. By recording yourself, you get clear information. You cannot always hear your own mistakes when you are speaking right away because your brain is busy trying to think of the next sentence. But when you listen back, you have enough space to hear it clearly. Let's say you record yourself talking about your weekend. You listen back and notice you said, I went to the beach, but it sounded more like, I went to the beach. That is a pronunciation thing you can work on. You can then go back and practice that specific phrase, focusing on the CH sound. Or maybe you notice you speak very slowly. You can then try to make yourself speak a little faster the next time you record. This process of recording, listening, and finding one or two specific things to work on is very powerful. It gives you clear steps for getting better. It is like a doctor finding a problem and telling you what to do to fix it. You are your own doctor, and the recording is your tool to find the problem. You do not have to record long sessions. Even 30 seconds to a minute of practice, recorded and listened to, can make a big difference. It is about doing it regularly. Doing this every day, or most days, will help you hear yourself improve. You will start to notice that the things you wanted to fix are not as much of a problem anymore, and you will be able to focus on the next step. It is a continuous cycle of practice, feedback, and making things better. These daily habits, shadowing, speaking your day, word association, and recording yourself, are simple, but they are made to help with the main challenge of turning what you know about English into being able to speak it confidently. They help you build the physical and mental paths needed for speaking smoothly and with confidence. They are the building blocks for truly speaking English better every single day. Conclusion. We have come to the end of our Speak English Better, Easy Practice lessons. Great job for finishing all of them. You spent your time and effort, and this is the first step to getting much better. We started this because we know many of you understand English, but speaking it well feels hard. We promise to show you why this happens and give you simple, everyday steps to use what you know to speak smoothly. In these lessons, we looked at common problems when speaking and ways to learn new words by using them. Now, let's put it all together and see where you are and where you are going. Do you remember why speaking can be difficult? It's not just knowing words. It's about your brain making fast links, not being afraid to start, and getting used to new sounds and sentences. We learned that knowing this is the first step to getting past these problems. This understanding is very important for your English speaking. It changes your focus from "what words do I know?" to "how can I use these words well?" We said that just reading or listening is not enough to speak. We looked at practicing by doing, speaking out loud, even to yourself, saying words clearly, and using new phrases right away. This is where what you know turns into what you can do. This way of practicing is the power behind getting better at speaking English. It's about doing, not just knowing. Every time you speak, you make your brain stronger for speaking. We gave you easy tips that you can do every day. From copying speakers to thinking in English, these small, regular actions build your skills. They might seem small, but over time, they make a big difference. These daily habits keep you improving in speaking English. They make it feel less scary and more possible, changing "I wish I could speak better" to "I am speaking better." And we talked about your feelings. Feeling more sure of yourself is not about not being afraid. It's about seeing your progress, being happy with small successes, and handling when you doubt yourself. Your willingness to try, even when it's not perfect, helps you grow a lot. Feeling more sure of yourself is the best result of getting better at speaking English. When you feel more sure, you speak more, which means more practice, and this leads to even more improvement. It's a good cycle.